Okay, so my name is Janae De Souza. I'm from Amateur University Dubai. I'm from Oman and half UAE, half Oman, half UAE. And yeah, I'm first year fashion student.
Great. Tell us about the collection that you are presenting from Fashion Revolution.
Okay, so my collection is basically about the ocean life. And why did I choose ocean life is because when I went to Expo 2020, Sustainability Pavilion, I went there and I was like, they have the under the forest and the ocean pavilion. So when I went to the ocean, I found out there's a lot of pollution in the ocean. We know that there's pollution in the ocean, but I found out more about the pollution in the ocean. Like, did you know that maybe in 10 years there'll be more plastic in the ocean than the fishes? So that's why my collection is want to educate people about the problems in the ocean. So each of my garments will tell you a story. Like the first garment will tell you about how beautiful the ocean is without the humans interfering. Even though it's imperfect, but still it's so beautiful. And as it goes on, it will show how we're destroying it, how we're removing all of its color and the beautiful fishes, and we're killing all these animals in the ocean. So that's what my collection is about.
What materials do you use to create it?
So the materials I use are all materials, like old garments that I had. Some are from university, some are from myself. So for each garment, the base garment, the dress underneath, is all what I wear under the abaya. So like I just cut them and I like made a design. And the attached pieces are all under like Indian dresses or like, you know, t-shirts and all. I just cut them and I put them, attached them. I even used a basketball net for one of my garments, so like because I wanted the net feel, and I even used the thread for the other garment to just give the net feel.
What is sustainability for you?
Sustainability to me is basically about when you understand about the environment and the problems going on, and then you understand that you don't need everything. So you understand that you don't need to overbuy stuff. You need to think about the environment as well. So when you're buying paper, you don't need paper. We have digital, we have iPads that you can sketch on. So you don't need to like, you know, do logging and everything just to use paper. So that's what sustainability means to me. You understand about the environment problem and you know there are solutions and you choose the solutions instead of going overbuying stuff.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hi.
Tell me about yourself.
So my name is Nayana Chuliur and I'm a first year BA Honours Fashion student in Middlesex University, and I'm here for the Fashion Revolution competition as one of the finalists.
Tell us about your collection, Shifting Dunes. What was the inspiration behind it?
So Shifting Dunes, my collection is basically inspired from the UAE in itself. So the UAE, there's sand dunes and it shifts. With the wind, there's shift in the sand dunes, and on a deeper level, the topic itself means a shift towards sustainability. So UAE is doing everything it can to bring sustainability to itself. One of the biggest examples right now is the Terra Pavilion in the Expo 2020. So UAE is doing everything it can for sustainability, and I wanted to show my support with whatever little I can with my collection. So it's a shift towards sustainability.
What materials did you use?
So I collected scrap materials, a lot of them from my university, Middlesex University. So there is a habit there where we collect the scrap fabrics and we store them for future uses. So that is also one towards sustainability. So I took most of my fabric from there. Then I've used curtains and bed sheets in my collection.
What means sustainability for you as a designer?
For me, sustainability as a designer, like we all know the word sustainability, but for me personally, is designing something, making something that the customers would like themselves, and as a designer, it's satisfying for the designer as well. At the same time, it's environmental friendly. It contributes to, it gives back to the environment, the people who makes the fabric and the animals. It's never harmful. So helping the society and the environment at the same time.
How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Tell me about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Gopika Rajan. I am 20 and I am from Kerala, south of India. And I am doing my second year at Amity University, Dubai. So now I'm here participating for Fashion Revolution. I'm very excited.
Tell us about your collection, the collection that you have presented for Fashion Revolution Student Competition.
Okay, so my collection's name is Work the Streets. And it's all about women's streetwear made out of men's office attire. So my inspiration came from a lot of men's shirts, blazers, you know, and there's a lot of them produced every year. So I thought, why not use that as an advantage and make something that women can wear at the streets. So that was all about my inspiration, and that is all about my collection. So everything is, again, men's shirts, blazers, trousers, every essential that a man has. It's all about that.
So what you got the garments to be part of your collection? Where did you source them?
It's all from, you know, my cousins, all my father, cousins, uncles. I went everywhere to look for blazers, shirts, whatever they had that they normally would wear to an office. That was, yeah, I didn't source any outside fabrics. It was all from pants, trousers, shirts, everything. Even the plackets were all from, you know, old shirts.
What does it mean, sustainability, for you as a designer? Like, how can we tackle the problem of the fashion industry being so pollutant?
So sustainability, the first thing that comes to my mind is all about the future, you know, about our future generations. You know, we should think about it now so that the future can, you know, what do you say, live a better life. So as a fashion designer, my main goal was to educate the, you know, consumers and whoever is going to see my collection. They're going to understand, like, you know, this, you can do a lot of things from old clothes. That pretty much it is what sustainability is for me. It's all about the future. It's, yeah, that's basically it.
Hi, I'm fine.
Tell us everything about yourself.
Okay, hi, my name is Janae De Souza. I'm a first-year student at Middlesex University studying fashion. Yeah.
Why you wanted to join the Fashion Revolution Student Competition?
Okay, so when I decided fashion was the career path for me, one of the first lessons I learned was on how much pollution this industry created. And being a new generation of designers, it was one way for me to safeguard our planet for the future generations and create a better place for them. So that was through this competition that's taking me one step further to my mission.
My name is Aisha and I'm doing fashion designing at Middlesex University, Dubai, first year.
Right. Where are you from?
I'm from India.
Okay, and tell us about your collection, the collection that you have presented for your students.
So my collection name is Precious Scraps. So I have used most of the scraps that I could collect from tailors and my friends and family, a lot of denim, jeans, etc. to make my collection. I have made 3 dresses and a jacket. The most basic work that I have focused on is patches. I have patched the jacket into an oversized one. So I focused on using denim since I would like to reduce the effect that it may cause to the environment. Yeah.
Why do you think fashion is so pollutant, and what can you do to change that?
So I believe, as we all know, fashion industry is considered as the second most polluting one in the world. So as emerging designers, we can do something in order to remove that. For example, right now there are so many techniques like zero waste technique. I have also experimented on that in my jacket, cutting into rectangles and stitching them up into a proper garment. So as designers, we can also experiment new ways in order to find the solution for the sustainability part of it.
Why you wanted to be part of the fashion revolution student competition?
As a student, I never thought we can make a garment without wasting fabrics. I never expected we could do that. So I really wanted to experiment by making garments without wasting fabrics. So, and I thought by joining this competition, I could learn more about sustainability as a whole.
What is sustainability for you in your own words?
According to me, sustainability is producing garments by not creating any harm to the environment.
Hello, Saina.
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Tell me everything about yourself.
So my name is Zainab. I originate from India and I am a first year fashion design student at Middlesex University, Dubai. And I've come here for the Fashion Revolution competition.
So tell us about your collection. It's called Amber Rush.
My collection is called Amber Rush and it is based on the seasons that the earth goes through. So there are 4 seasons and one of those is autumn, and my collection is based on autumn. And my theme was inspired by Gaia, who is a goddess and who has produced the earth. So I have been inspired by the seasons that the earth goes through, and one of those is autumn. So I've used the theme that for the collection.
What materials did you use to create your collection?
So my collection is mainly based on scraps that I've taken from tailors around, and I have used natural dyes to color all my fabrics. For example, turmeric, red cabbage, coffee and beetroot. And for one of my designs, I have used the technique of weaving, wherein I have used scraps of fabric and I have turned them into strips, and then I've used those strips to weave it and then make it into a whole top like a blouse.
Beautiful. Tell me, how was it to work with natural dye?
So it was really fun. Like the results that I used to obtain after dyeing was very fascinating to see. And as we all know that the fabrics that we use right now, they are dyed with very harmful toxic chemicals, and I wanted to do something opposite of that by using natural dyes, which won't be toxic when we actually wash it in a washing machine. It won't harm the environment. So that's what I've done.
And tell us why autumn?
Autumn, I was fascinated by that season specifically because I really like the color palette of autumn. It's very vibrant, it's very splendid, and it's very warm, and I wanted to go with that.
What do you think is the future of fashion if we do not take sustainable steps to make it different?
So
we all know that fashion is the second pollutant as an industry, and if we don't take total steps right now, it can be really harmful in the future. And so it is really important that each one of us, not just the designers and the people who are connected to the fashion industry, but everyone should be conscious about their buying patterns and the way they consume fashion. Thank you.
Hi, how are you?
Tell me about yourself.
My name is Janae De Souza. I'm doing my first year in fashion studies at Middlesex University, Dubai. I'm also a fashion enthusiast and love exploring new ways of making fashion more sustainable. I'm also participating as one of the finalists for the Fashion Revolution competition.
Now, tell us about chlorophyll. What was your inspiration to create?
So the word chlorophyll, I've mixed two concepts of the pigment from plants, which is chlorophyll and landfill. I've gotten inspiration from the season of spring, which is a very lively season, which I've kind of comprised in contrast to the harm the fashion industry is doing to the environment. I've also created my collection with natural dyes and 100% biodegradable materials, which prevents my garments from reaching the landfill.
Tell us, how was the exploration when you were working with the natural dyes?
So natural dyes are very difficult to work with because you never know what outcome you'll get. So the experimentation process was very long because I did experiment with coffee, with turmeric, with chlorophyll, which is a naturally occurring pigment from plants. And
how was it? Did you have fun experimenting?
I had a lot of fun experimenting with it because I was doing it for the first time, and it's very interesting to see what outcomes you'll get because the first time is never going to be the last time.
Why did you decide to experiment with natural dyes versus organic versus chemical dyes? Why do you think it's important to use natural dyes?
I feel like using natural dyes makes a huge difference to the outcome that you're going to get with the final garment, and using synthetic dyes on the other hand, which is what's used in the fashion industry, creates a lot of harm. And as we know, the fashion industry is one of the most polluting industries in the world, and it does cause a lot of harm to the water bodies, and it does cause a lot of harm to nature in general.
So tell us about how you built up your collection, the materials you used, where you got them from.
So starting with the material itself, I used 100% cotton bed sheet, and then I used that to experiment with different textures, which is one of them is weaving, and then I used patchwork. So I tried to use that bed sheet to create different varieties in my garment, and I also used natural dyes from turmeric, and I tried using natural food dye as well. And apart from that, I used wheatgrass because I did want to add the element of life to my garments. So I used natural wheatgrass in my collection.
Very beautiful. Why do you think it's so important that the next generation of designers take responsibility and do things different in fashion?
I feel the next generation of designers are going to be the next ones who will be stepping in the fashion industry. So it's very important for them to come up with change, and very important for them to introduce their new ideas and concepts to the fashion industry so that it could become a better place for the environment.
Very soon. You are that generation. Hello, Sandhya.
Hi.
Tell us everything about yourself.
Hi, my name is Sandhya. I'm currently doing a BA Honours Fashion Design at the Middlesex University, Dubai.
Tell us about your collection.
The name of my collection is The Changing Lines of Identity. The main inspiration comes from the structure Burj Jumeirah. It is an observation TADEC project in Dubai that is expected to be completed in 2025. So the base of the star is patterned with His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum's fingerprint, which forms the base and core of this project. So my main inspiration comes from the structure.
Yeah, how did you create the texture to actually do
the fingerprints were the main elements of this of my collection, and I've done this using strips of waste fabric, and I've braided them, and I've used the braids as the texture for the fingerprint in all my designs.
So tell us about the materials that you used to create.
I've used the materials that I've used for this collection are I've sourced waste fabric, and I've also used non-clothing textiles such as curtains, bed sheets, and scraps from tailors and etc. So this
How was the exploration put together?
It was quite challenging because it was all very new to me, but I think I've managed to find clothing, and actually I didn't know it was possible to make clothing without wasting, and I think I've managed to do that.
How did you manage to reduce the waste as much as you could? How did you reduce the waste when you were creating the garment?
I've managed to incorporate zero waste in some places, and I've tried to cut as much as possible, and I've also used scraps everywhere to make my texture, and I've also used upcycling techniques as well.
Why do you think sustainability is so important in fashion?
Sustainability is a topic that is very valuable to me. As designers, as consumers, we're always exposed to sale promotions and a lot of discounts that keeps us distracted, and we want to buy more and spend more. But as consumers, I think we have the power, and we need to make sustainable choices to make a better future for us.
And as a designer?
Sorry, ma'am?
As a designer, how do you want to contribute to sustainability?
As a designer, I want to incorporate sustainability as much as possible. A main element that I want to focus on is detachable clothing. So even though there's a lot of clothing that I'm making, the customer can wear maybe just the skirt or maybe just the top and pair it with something else. So I want to make somewhat like a capsule collection that can be used for all the events.
Perfect. Hello, Nitika. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Tell me everything about yourself.
I'm Nitika, and I go to MIT University. I'm a first-year student in fashion design. I'm from India. Yeah, that's about it.
Why you wanted to join Fashion Revolution student competition?
I wanted to experience. It is a great opportunity. Plus, I wanted to show people how old clothes can be turned into new garments with still a purpose, with style and everything. So this was a great opportunity for me to show that. That's why I wanted to join. Plus the experience.
Tell us about your collection, modern architecture. What was the inspiration behind it?
So all my collection, all of the outfits, they're all inspired by modern architecture. So I try to incorporate the design patterns found in modern buildings. So that's what I try to do in my garments. All of them, they have these patterns we see in these modern buildings. And I made all of my garments from old clothes, old shirts, all denim jeans and pants. They're all made from that. I used for example, one of the garments, I used the waist part of the jeans. It's a bottom piece. I turned it into a top. I used the waist part, I inverted it upwards and became a top that way, and I added collars of old shirt to that part of the jeans and then added sleeves like that. And I did that with two other tops, and one of the skirts I used two jeans, again the waist part, the waist, the pelvic region. I used the two waist parts of two different jeans and put it together and made a skirt. And again, I did that with one of the tops as well. The rest of the garments, it was all made up from the patches. From the patches of the jeans that I used. So basically,
about why you think, tell us why you think this sustainability is so important for your generation of designers. Why you are...
Yeah, it's a fact that we all know the textile waste is one of the major threats to the environment these days, and I wish to change that. I wish to become a part of that change. And it is possible if we start using these old clothes. There's like every year there's numerous waste from just the textile industry. So if we try to use that to make new garments, a lot of the waste can be avoided, and we can help improve the environmental issues to a next level.
What is sustainability for you as a person and as a designer?
As a designer, sustainability is, through it I get the opportunity to bring about the change to the environmental issues. So that is what it means to me, to reduce.